it's the challenge and the remoteness and the wild elements that really appeal to me. I'm not sure how many places there are left in the world that are so wild and remote. And I'm also not sure for how much longer this place will remain wild and remote.
In a very long story short, the plan is get picked up by the 4x4s that have driven up from South Africa with all the gear, 3,000 kilometers, and drive into the desert on the wild coast of Angola. Pack our stuff and kite out to the ocean in the wildest sea that is full of life and attempt to camp on an island. What once was a town connected to the mainland got detached to it, and it's now 10 kilometers offshore.
Graham said we're hitting the Acre, which is one of the most treacherous 4x4 drives out there.
Access is very limited in that you drive along the coast, but that's only possible on a spring low tide. So regardless of how you approach it, it's pretty challenging. You expect the set coming and the water's going to roll out your car, just stop where you are. Even if it's big sand, it's better to stop and get stuck than it is to splash salt water onto your car. You guys copy?
Got you.
It's not looking great. It's not looking great.
Guys, have to hurry up, the tide is rising, we don't want to get stuck here.
The last probably hour has been one of the most stressful drives of my life. Just watching the ocean come in between the biggest sand dune I've ever seen, and we're in the middle of it, trying to find an exit out of this death zone before the sunset.
That's quite a far one. I feel like a kid, bro. This place is absolutely magic.
How many birds? We almost got infiltrated by the birds there. They almost came through the window. Made it. Dinner served. Man must eat.
There wasn't wind every day, and Graham had this idea of wakeboarding towing behind the car. Things like that really keep you busy in the desert.
time comes, whether we're actually going to pull the trigger and kite across to this place, I'm very skeptical about.
I also don't feel safe about that, because even though the forecast says it's going to blow 30 knots, what if it blows 10 knots? Then we're stuck.
Unless the conditions are perfect and everything works out well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It almost feels too risky.
What do 5 in the desert. We just saw these huge footprints, and apparently it was a hyena coming from across that side.
But it really is an inhospitable place. So the island has been uninhabited now for about 50 years. So it's very interesting and eerie to witness what a settlement or a city or a town would look like if people abandoned it for 50 years. Doesn't mean to say that we have to kite there in order to explore the island and look at it, but it just added this level of interest.
So according to Google Maps, it's the perfect place to go on an adventure. But there's a big but. Pack our stuff, camera gear, food, camping gear, and kite 10 kilometers out to the ocean in the wildest sea that is full of life and sharks and fish.
The wind is a little bit onshore, so in order to cross over to the island, it's best to start as high upwind as we can. But we can only get there on a low tide, and it's currently as low as it's going to be.
Kiting into the abyss. The mood is definitely changing.
It is, eh?
Yeah, everyone's getting a little bit nervous.
Our access to our camp is so limited. If there's an emergency that requires like immediate action, we can't leave immediately. We're bound by the tides. So we'd like to cross at an angle like this. It's a little bit safer and easier on the legs. The distance at its widest part is about 10 kilometers, 5.5 nautical miles, something like that.
What Matt missed out on this map is that we can die here, we can roll the car here. So the fact that we got here is a miracle. If we're going to get here is our next miracle. Never mind the dead seal here, that just says exactly what this trip has been about so far. It's not the time for interviews. Can you not see I'm stressed out?
To the channel crossing to the island itself, if the wind dies off or we have gear failure in the middle, we're going to have to rely on our buddies to body drag us back.
Aim across the island, across the lagoon, get to the other side, and hopefully there's more wind to go. But right now, kites are falling out the sky. And we still can't see. We crossed the first lagoon, now we're crossing this stretch of peninsula, but it's been about 1 kilometer so far, and the mirage keeps on getting further. So we can't actually see the sea yet.
Don't know where it ends. Oh, we can't even see the island from here. We're gonna make it.
You ready, boys?
What's happening?
Let's go.
Nah. No man left behind. Wind's on. Let's go. On our way. Let's go. See you in 2 hours. We're doing pretty well so far. Basically at the half point mark. Still got 5 kilometers to go. Legs are burning. Boys are standing. It's awesome. The island! Made it! Yeah, we made it! Everything is just ruins. We're in a theater now, eh? This is a theater. Yeah. Wow.
Very, very airy here. Very.
And you made it until here, and now you are on the island of hunger and thirst.
Sounds about right.
Maple.
No way.
Do you think we can drink tequila instead of water?
Yes.
Be able to speak to the guys. Hello, is anyone out there?
Everyone said we packed 3 bottles of water, finished one, and now we're trying to find another 2 and they had coal in them for the fire. So what looked like 3 bottles of water is potentially only 1 bottle of water that's finished. We haven't even cooked dinner yet, which we need water for.
So all the water we have, we put against this wall. No one touches it.
It's so scary inside there. The wind is howling and it's just scary as hell. So we're all sleeping there, like Christmas beds. It's Christmas time. I'm so excited. I'm sleeping with my friend.
Dude, time to engage the rest, eh?
Yeah, man, absolutely destroyed.
Crusty. Very crusty.
At the back.
Now 8 o'clock and I don't think the wind's gonna come before
Cool, eh?
2 or 3, so
Got it here.
we have quite a bit of time on that island with no water.
Complete full.
No, no coming apart.
The drips of the bottom.
Oh! This is dangerous.
You remember a shake this morning, I see. Yeah, imagine we end up having to loop to get back and we end up down there. Fuck. If we say this wind gets lighter and lighter and we end up having to go more and more downwind, there's a chance we miss the camp.
Yeah.
And then
If you can't travel upwind or at least hold your line, you will be a little bit downwind. But it's low tide, so walking up is not going to be the end of the world.
hopefully we make it. It's about 15 knots, maybe 18 knots in the gust, but it's about 10 knots in the lulls. And we've got 10 Ks, and if we miss our home spot, we're going to be far away from home, and the radio doesn't pick up base camp.
The wind is a bit light and gusty, but
See you on the other side.
yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Eagles have landed.
Boys made it.
There's a lot that can go wrong on a trip like this. It's always just at the back of your mind, like what if? We couldn't have asked for better athletes on the trip and better support crew, because we as crew members, we all had to kite over too. And we were all competent enough to do this without any major issues.